clash of ideas. The Alps, geology, and scientific revolutions. Fire and water. Since ancient times, the powerful effects of both on Earth's surface have been recognized. Even the Bible acknowledges them as central in shaping our planet. In the New Testament, Peter writes,
"Earth was formed out of water, and by means of water, through which the world of that time was deluged with water and perished. But by the same word, the present heavens and earth have been reserved for fire, being kept until the day of judgment."
At the dawn of modern geology, a fierce discussion arose on which was more important for rocks and their history, fire or water. And here, in the European Alps, crucial evidence was waiting to be discovered that would help make a final determination. Episode 2, Pluto versus Neptune and the Origin of Rocks.
In September 1822, the small alpine town of Predazzo was in turmoil, awaiting for the arrival of the distinguished geographer and Chamberlain of the King of Prussia, Alexander von Humboldt. Humboldt was coming to check reports of a very special outcrop near Predazzo. There were rumors of granite resting atop limestone rocks.
Granite is an unlayered hard rock made up of visible crystals and easily distinguishable from limestone, which is commonly layered.
The German professor Abraham Werner had observed an order in the way rocks are found. Granites always appear to be at the bottom, overlain by rocks made by layers. This led Werner to suggest that granites were the first rocks to have formed, precipitating directly from the waters of a primordial universal ocean.
In his view, the other rock types, including layered limestone, had formed afterwards as the primordial ocean became more turbulent and shallow. Because of the emphasis on rocks formed from water, his theory was dubbed Neptunism after Neptune, the Roman god of the oceans. In contrast to the Neptunists, a different school of thought, championed by the Scottish geologist James Hutton, held that granites formed as hot magmas cooled. This group was nicknamed Plutonists, after Pluto, the Greek god of the fiery underworld.
Plutonists did not believe that granites were primordial rocks. In their view, Earth's history consisted of endless repeating cycles of rock formation and destruction. Hutton was convinced that the Earth showed no vestige of a beginning, no prospect of an end.
Both Plutonists and Neptunists believed in the law of superposition, which states that rock layers formed from bottom to top. The oldest rocks are at the bottom, while the youngest are at the top.
This takes us back to Predazzo and the outcrop that Humboldt had come to visit. For Neptunists, it was impossible that a granite, a primary rock, could be found lying atop a limestone, a secondary rock. But for Plutonists, this would be a prime example of one of their many cycles where young magma had flowed through and over older limestone and then solidified.
The evidence was clear. The granite layer was indeed on top, so it was younger than the underlying limestone. Molten lava had cut the white limestone, cooking it with its heat and transforming it into marble. So it was not true that all granites were primary. The slow, numerous cycles of Hutton became the dominant view, and Neptunism faded out of fashion.
However, with the passing of decades, Werner's directional view of history re-established its place in geology. An order is apparent in the rock record, and instead of endless cycles, distinct trends can be recognized. In the Bible, Peter describes a clash between views of history as a progression of clear, distinct stages or as a repetition of the same.
In the last days, scoffers will come, saying, "Where is the promise of his coming? For ever since our ancestors died, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation."
Over the short course of human lives, it may seem that things continue on as usual, but we know that our planet had a beginning and will have an end. While we decipher Earth's history by studying its rocks, we are reminded that God has a plan that unfolds in the times that He has predetermined. What a privilege to study the vestiges of the beginning while keeping in mind the prospect of a beautiful end.